Hey, what's up everybody? It's Beverly from Downen Creative Studios. I've been working on my new project, which is Ravenna from the Huntsman. Once again, I'm making Charlize Theron costume. I seem to have a thing for her. Who doesn't? So I decided to make it difficult for myself and not use real feathers. I'm actually using fabric, which is going to come out awesome. It's just really time consuming. I made this already just to see if it could be done. So yes, I'm going to do it. So a couple of people have asked me to make a tutorial or at least talk about how I've done this because they've got upcoming projects that require feathers, and feathers can be expensive. So if you can get away with doing it with fabric, I definitely recommend it. So we'll get started. So the first thing you're going to do is cut out a whole bunch of these little feathers. I'm using a glass plate, and you'll see why a little later. But the glass plate is going to make it very easy to scrape it off, and it'll hold everything in place. So I'm going to put down a bunch of these feathers. They're all facing the same way, and I'm just going to start putting down a thin line of glue kind of down the middle. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then I'm going to flip this guy over and then just kind of press it on. And that's it. I'm going to just keep doing this. Alright, so now that we've got them all glued down, I'm going to paint these. Ravenna's feathers have this awesome kind of black, evil, oily kind of look. So to get that, I'm going to turn the insanity up to 11, and I'm going to paint all of these feathers. I was using a fabric paint before, and it was drying kind of dull, and I didn't really like that, so I switched to acrylic. I'm not going to wash this cape anyway with all of these crazy feathers. That would be insane. So I'm just kind of lightly doing the edges, just so that when the feathers are right up next to each other on the cape, they have a little bit of dimension. So you can use the brush to do this. If you get tired of that or you want a slightly different look, you can just use your finger. Smear it along the edge. Alright, so I've done the last one. This paint has to dry just a little bit. So in the meantime, I'm going to tell you about my little friend here. This is just a razor blade. This is going to be how I'm going to take off all of these feathers off the glass. And that's why I like using glass, because the glue doesn't stick to the glass like it does to other materials. So it's a good surface to use if you need the glue to come off. So to do this, it's really easy. You just kind of get it started and then help it along as you use the razor blade to take off the feather, and that's it. Pretty easy. So I'm just gonna, whoop. Sometimes you can rip them. Still gonna use that. These aren't quite dry yet, so I'm gonna leave those alone. Here are my feathers. They're pretty cool. You can get a little fancier if you want. You can chop up the edges a little bit, kind of like on these guys. I got really fancy with those. I guess it depends on what level of insanity you want for your project. All right, so that was kind of how I make my feathers for this particular project. It's pretty simple. You really don't need an awful lot of materials. So anyway, I hope that this is going to help out with your projects. I would love to see pictures of whatever you make. If you have any questions, let me know. And thanks for watching. Till next time.